Hi everyone, welcome back. The next part of this build will focus on installing the T-tracks. So before we get started, I just wanted to point out a couple things here. So Fieldmarshal's kit comes with 3 of these lengths of these long T-tracks. Each of these T-tracks will be enough to do 2 sets of rows. What you can see here is I've done 2 rows already, and this is what was left over. So you've got plenty of room here to cut it long. Just make sure you have enough material. Just don't cut it short, because there's just enough T-track in the kit for you to do all 6 of the rows that are necessary. So speaking of the rows of the holes, there's actually 8 total rows. 6 of them will need to be covered with T-tracks. The 2 that will not will be the bottom row where the stock will go, and then also the row where the bayonet lug is. All of the other holes will need to be covered. This one here that's in line with the magwell, that actually has 10 holes, so that is a bit longer. The rest of the holes here are 9 holes per row. All right. And really all that you need is couple rulers, some wire snips, and in this case I'm using a heat gun. I actually tried using the hot water method, but that just simply did not work. It did not heat the T-tracks enough, and it just wasn't very good. All right, guys, not sure what happened with the video, but when I finished out this track here, the video must have cut out. So I'll go ahead and do the next set of tracks, and you guys can follow along. So here is part of the T-track that I will need to trim. I think when I ended up doing some of these, I'm still trying to dial in what the right length is. So I think in this particular case, for the 9 holes, instead of going 10 millimeters beyond each end, I'll just do 5 millimeters. So in this case, 150 end to end, so that'll be 160. So I will mark this here. Then I'll go ahead and trim these. Okay. So that should give me 160. And then what I'll probably end up doing, 15 millimeters from each end. And what that should look like is those marks where I will start the taper is right at the end of that last hole there. So that'll start the taper. So that looks good. right, so there's one side cut. Work on the next side. And then I'll just use one of these emery boards for your nails to file these down and get them nice and smooth. Okay, there we go. And this should be interesting because on this side here, you can see that the inner barrel, the back end is butted up right against there. So not quite sure how I will do that yet. I might have it just go straight down and try to bend it around. Might be a pretty steep angle, but we're gonna insert this side first and then we'll work on that side later. So again here, holding it about 5 to 6 inches away from the heat gun. Just keep it moving and it will soften up. So once I have it set, line it up straight and then just hold it down. If you release this, it'll spring right back up. So just keep some pressure on it and let it cool, maybe 30 seconds. Okay, that should do it. And then you can see the bend right there. Work on that side. So I'll have to trim off a little bit here. That down in there. Okay. Let that set just a little. Then I'll have to go another round since I'll need to insert the front part here first. Just making sure that I get enough of a bend. And might have to take a little bit off since it's going straight down. Make sure there's enough clearance. So one more time, and I think this time I have that angle I think just about right. Just need to soften that up. Shaved off the front a little bit there. That should be good. Then what I do here also is I'll start from the middle and I'll kind of pull out towards the edges. That looks good. Here I will make some adjustments. So I think for the ends here, there's another one on the other side. Maybe even this one. No track there. That one should be fine. I think it's the long 10-hole row. I'll need to make the same adjustment here, and seems to be okay. Would like it to sit down a little bit more, a little springy. Maybe I'll make an adjustment. But this, I think, will need some E6000 just to secure it a little bit further. So I'll see. There we go. So just need to get it heated up just enough so that it becomes nice and malleable that you can work it. Not so much so that you will burn the track, but that seems to have flattened this section here, and hopefully that will have locked it in. Hold it here for a few more seconds. And I think that's probably as good as it's going to get for now. You can see it is a little springy because it doesn't lock underneath that lip. So in this case, that angle is perfect. I'll get some E6000 and I'll apply it under there. Let's see. Probably a nice dab right there in the center. That should do. And then maybe I'll put one right there as well. Hold that down for a sec. All right. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to follow the same process for the remaining 2 more rows to do, and that will wrap it up. So hope this has been helpful for you guys. I'll get the others wrapped up here, and then I'll give you guys a look to see how this how this all turned out. All right, guys, just a quick look here. So I finished up all of the T-tracks, the 2 rows, or the 2 tracks where it butted up right against the inner barrel. I did have to use some E6000, so I basically filled in the spaces on the every other hole. And that's why I have the rubber bands, just to keep it in place. I'll leave this for 24 hours, which is normally what I do whenever I use E6000, is to just kind of keep it secured and put away and set aside for 24 hours to let everything cure. But in essence, that's what it looks like. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Just, be careful with the heat gun. I had mine on the lowest setting, and just, just don't hold it in a single place too long. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching. Take care.